Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel, and thank you all for those who's been watching my videos. But for those of you who's just seen this for the first time, my name is Juanito or JC. I'm a physiotherapist here in the UK, and I'm doing these videos sharing some experiences, tips, and feedback to those who are internationally trained physiotherapists as well, who's intending to get a career here in the UK. For today's topic, it's just be reflecting from my recent preceptorship module topic, which is leadership, as well as I just want to share something that I have learned just recently, for those of you who wanted to study, but there's a condition for that. I'll share to you about that later on. First of all, as I was saying, I was just going to share about the discussion today about leadership. And just to recall, this is one of the HCPC standards, the Health and Care Professional Council standards that we must all possess before you get registered. So if you're already HCPC registered, you should have demonstrated that you possess these standards already. For those of you who's again not familiar with what I'm talking about, I'm curious why, because you're already HCPC registered and you should have tried to evidence these standards. But if you want to just refresh your memory, just check out the HCPC website and go to the standards and check out particularly about leadership. Okay, and just to update you as well, I don't know when you've been registered, but these standards were updated last September, took effect last September, and if you want to check it out, the updates also in the resources of the HCPC website, they have these videos and some resources there. But just to recall again, leadership, as a registered healthcare professional, you must demonstrate this already. It doesn't need to be that you have a managerial role, or so any registered physio can demonstrate leadership. And just like volunteering or taking initiative on things, that's demonstrating leadership already. But for today's topic, I just want to share learning that or reflection I have from today's topic. Most of the speakers today were actually internationally trained. I think they're either internationally trained or not born in the UK, but practicing here, maybe studied here, but not originally from the UK. And they were all sharing their experiences. Now they're on a managerial role or even a director role, and sharing their experiences and discussion about leadership. And one of the speakers was talking about what demonstration of a true leadership for him, and this struck me very much, because as an internationally trained physiotherapist, and for those of you as well, we all know that we come from a different background, and practiced in a country where there's different culture, different ways of doing things, it can be like confusing and challenging. But as this speaker has shared his thoughts, um, I'd like to share it as well, because I was inspired. So the tips the points he mentioned is that so becoming a professional, or even if you want to say it, if you want to become a leader as well. These are the points or principles he shared. To possess your own true value, that's the first thing. So as he said, he came from an African country, African culture background, but he was sharing that what made him him, or what made him in his position right now, is his background, his roots, his parents. Actually, he was sharing his good memories and influence from his mom, and being from a humble family in Africa. But those experiences, those values, those cultural backgrounds made him what he is now. The personality he has, the values he has and possess, and he used for his current role. So that's what he was trying to say, that just be you, and maybe this can be applicable to all of us. So assuming a role here in the UK, whatever you are, it's a good opportunity for us to share our experiences, our own input to the healthcare setting, coming from a different background. Okay, so we don't keep that, or don't hold that back, because that's actually your advantage, or maybe a good criteria that you possess when they hired you, is because you have an additional fresh input to the service, or to the British healthcare culture. So try to be authentic, try to share what you know as who you are. Okay? And yeah, he was also saying that knowing that we come from a different background, we must practice this. He said we see people as they are. Or if you've seen the movie Avatar, they use this I see you, because it's seeing the whole perspective of a person. When you see, for example, a patient or a colleague, when you're communicating to them, you're trying to engage with them, you try to see the person from a deeper perspective, their background, their experience, their culture, for example. So there comes respect, there comes dignity, and there'll be more professional approach to it, because you see them from a different perspective, not just a physical person. Same thing, or related to it, is that when you're trying to do things in your job or trying to be a leader, you always focus that it's not about the racial differences. It's not about if you're white or black or brown or or yellow. Or my point is, even if you're coming from a different ethnicity, it doesn't matter, because they actually want everything to be inclusive, people to belong. In case you succeed in getting a job here, and or you're having a read of the regulations, the legislations in the UK, you might come across equality and diversity, and you might come across the term of equity. So they changed now. Equality is not equality anymore, but equity. And that was just clarifying or trying to demonstrate more, giving equal opportunities for everyone, in terms of their limitations, capabilities. Yeah, so that everyone should feel we belong, and that's how we should be always be focusing. Okay, and these things as well was also had an effect on me when I heard these things, that to know that you're successful, you should be applying these things. And I thought of sharing this because as most of you who's trying to ask help from me, you're still on that stage where you're trying to achieve your goals, to get an interview or get to that registration or get to that job that you wanted. So it's relatable. So the first thing is, you know that you're successful already is when you see your goal, so and understand your obstacle, and you have a mental picture, having a clear picture in your mind about your achievement or whatever you're trying to achieve. You must clear your self-doubt. You must embrace the challenges, and always be focused and stay on track, and show the world you can do it. Okay, so these are just inspirational words, because we all encounter it as a internationally trained professional coming to the UK. We will all experience this hurdles, so it's just inspirational to hear these things coming from that director. Yeah, and so that's it. Someone shared as well that on his career path, he was sharing that things that helped him was mentoring and coaching, making connections and networks, and that it doesn't need to be that you're highly educated, like with MSc or PhD. It doesn't need to be like that in applying roles here. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is about the further study. So I've just learned recently, so for those of you who's interested to study again here in the UK and get a qualification again, it's either getting a new BSc course, or a postgraduate course, or an MSc. This is not for everyone, I admit, but the just for those of you who can relate um, and can be eligible for this. So this information is for those of you who are already have a valid residence here in the UK and wanted to pursue another career, or trying to top up your educational qualifications. So as I've said, you can the eligibility, as I've said, you should be a UK resident, and you mustn't have any history of you was this claiming for education, educational financial support, and also that you have a, for example, if it's a BSc, you have your school certificates and proof that you have that level of education as well. And if you're applying for an MSc, you must prove that you have your previous diplomas and things like that, certificates and qualifications. But yeah, as I've said, it's mainly for those who are already living here in the UK and has a valid residency. But it's a good opportunity for those of you who's just gaining UK qualification. So this is your opportunity. Yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions about that, just message me and I'll give you some further information. Okay, so thank you for everyone who just listened to this, and I hope to see you again on my other videos. Again, as I've said before, if you wanted support and mentoring, you can check, if you're a member of the CSP, check the mentoring scheme and look for my name. Also, I haven't asked this before, but it would help if you subscribe and if you like to my channel, and maybe somehow share the word of it, spread the word to others. Okay, so again, thank you for listening and see you again.